Hey everybody. Uh, Today I'm working on uh, the project I've been working on for a while. This is being able to take geographical information and search through it just through a custom query language. One of the things that I'm having issues with recently is that the way I import the data at the moment has been through a bash script, and it doesn't do what I want to do because I ran into an issue from a screen that I've cleared so far where the bash script takes a file name and truncates it down to be useful for the program to know the meta information of where the data came from. And I discovered that South Dakota was just Dakota, and that means I'm not parsing things correctly. So today we're gonna switch over this bash script over to a Golang command within my program, so that it does the exact same thing, but I can actually test it to make sure that the outcomes are expected. I would. Some people might argue that, well, you could test the bash script. At this point, it's probably just worth within my program to switch it over to Golang. So let's switch screens to my screen share here. Okay, cool. I think that worked. So let's just start with my program. So if I'm just walking through my bash script here, the idea is that I provide uh, a file that is read through line by line. It's not a CSV file; it's just a new line delimited of URLs of things to download. Just to give you some context, it's downloading each state from GeoFabric, which is the OSM compressed data using protobuf of just the OpenStreetMap uh, data available for that state. I go through each line. I'm doing a base name. I'm using awk to pull out what I thought was the state name here, which is true. But when I got to things as I alluded to earlier, like New Jersey or New Mexico, all I was getting was uh, Hampshire, Jersey, Mexico, and when I saw that, I was just like, I think it's time to stop using awk. And I know this could be like a one-line change for some people, but I want to test drive it. There's motivation for something I wanted to do for a while, so I'm gonna do that here. So we go through each URL, we get the base name, we download the file, we run uh, some code that is actually Go code that I already have. So what we're gonna do is just wrap this around this function. So we're gonna have, instead of calling go run build as my command, I'm gonna call it go run build from file. Or we could provide a file here, but I really like that this does one thing and one thing well. I'd rather just wrap this call like how I do it with a bash script. So let us jump into this. Let us remember where everything is, because it has been a while. Okay, let's close some of this stuff down. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, we're gonna start a brand new command here. So the pattern I'm using is using Kong to create my CLIs. Uh, it has a pattern for subcommands within the main CLI, and this is what I've been using. So if I follow build here, that's the type, there we go. You'll see that it has some arguments that can be used. So just to show an example here, build just h, you'll see OSM DB prefix allowed tags, OSM DB prefix allowed tags, and some of the meta information associated with that. Cool. We are going to create a new command here. The hard part of computer science is naming things. So this takes a file in. It's going to call the build command. The build command could be called the wrong thing. It could be, it's converting. Yeah, well, actually, that actually is probably a good name. So let's just clean some of this up. Oops, nope. What did I just do? Yeah, I'm just gonna get checkout clean here. I'm going to rename build to convert because that actually does make more sense. We're going to rename this here to convert because it's converting an OSM file into SQLite. That makes sense. That way I can actually make the build command, which is like, here's the thing, here's the source of the things I want to build. Now convert it into the, yeah, we're going to do that. Let's just change all the names. Let's go down this rabbit hole. Boop, boop, boop. Rename, new converter. This is rename convert converter. I can spell. Why am I not seeing it? There we go. Converter. This returns a builder, which we're going to call a converter. Nope, that did not do the thing I wanted to do. I search for builder anywhere. Probably keep it within strings builder, describe builder, converter. Perfect. So if I run fast real quick, which is my test. Okay, cool. Rename builder to converter. And now let's follow that builder pattern. I'm going to make it builder.go package man. And we're going to follow some of the same patterns here. Oh, I didn't rename everything. Okay. That was expected because I didn't. Convert each file. Okay. So I didn't rename everything from builder to convert. Precisely. We'll just fix this up real quick. Okay, cool. No, that did not do the thing I wanted to do. What did I miss? Oh, well, it didn't stash it. That's fine. That's fine. All right, let's go back to our CLI here. Boop, boop, boop. We're going to call it build command. Okay. And it's going to take probably a couple arguments. Let's go back to our build script here. So it takes a configuration config, which is a string, which is a new line delimited file. Of URLs to download process. And since I know there's some information we can use here, I keep calling it builder. Let's call it build. We'll fix that in a second. We'll go to convert here. I'm going to copy a specific type. This is required. This is required to be an existing file. All right, and I need the database. I'm going to copy some of this here. And since this is just a raptor script, not a raptor, although I'd love to have a raptor script. I'm just going to copy some of the tags. So what do I mean by wrapper? Like just like a bash script, it's calling commands. Since this is something I just want to write in Go, I'm wrapping just commands I already have. I'm just adding the logic instead of in bash and Go for the main purpose of testability. We're not there yet. I'm just going to do the conversion because it should be pretty easy, which is what you see right here. Then we'll write some tests and see where the failure is, right? So let's just do, if we can, a one-to-one conversion at the moment. Okay, so we should have the config. So we want to IO read line util read lines. There's something for this. Let's go to Safari. Golang read lines. That is too many ways. There's totally like a read lines for this. Yeah, I accept all the cookies. Buff.io string. Cool, right? So OS file, open, I think there's just read. Open build config. It doesn't take any other arguments right now. So we have config error return format could not read open config file. You will always see me wrap my errors because hopefully with unique messages because since we don't have good stack traces in Go, I like to have unique things I can search for in the search code when I get an error. Okay, so we need a buff IO new reader config buffer, and then for buffer new line read line. Okay. Next. Okay. Can we do a for loop here, or can we just open file? I don't really care which one's faster. I just want one that's easier. But it looks like new. Scanner's actually easier. Guess what? We're gonna use that for scanner scan, and then line equals scanner text. Okay, so we want to download the file. Right now I'm using curl. Is there a good library for downloading files in Go that just like has a progress bar and everything? Because that would be really nice. let's look for that real quick. Golang library, download file, progress bar. Progress bar. I mean, that is a progress bar, but that is not necessarily download a file of the progress bar. Or they just have an example, but I want to download it to a file in a specific directory. That's the thing I need to do. That is from. That is not the right wording there. I'm gonna fix that real quick. Okay. So, to copy, if we're gonna copy this, create the build directory. Delete previous databases. Artifacts. And then what we need to do is download the OSM PBF file, progress bar required for user consumption, and then run convert for new OSM PBF file. All right. Build path equals file path dir build db. That's where we want to put it. We want to osmk dir all build path. Ensure that it exists. So that's just an error. If error not equal to nil, return error could not create build path. And then delete the previous. So file path.glob, file path.join build path dot star. No, close. Should look at this. The path of the DB is build path. Oh, well, actually, I just might be able to do this then. Format as print f string star the bdb matches error turn format f could not glob previous database file for some reason. Then we go through each match, range matches, os unlink. Is there Golang unlink file? How do you delete or remove a file? OS remove. Okay. Remove. Match. Error. If error. Return. Could not remove file. Okay, cool. So, got the first half. So downloading a file. Um, you know, I'm a big fan of not using the HTTP client directly for reasons. Is that good enough here? Mainly because the default HTTP client has like unlimited timeouts and stuff, and I like something that has a little better. I'm a big fan of rec and Go just because it has this a DSL that I'm used to from other languages. Let's see if we can do a progress bar here. Easy download, upload. You can download, upload files. Perfect. Perfect. If I haven't said perfect, perfect. It does the thing that I want to do, and I don't have to write any code for it. So, let's get this. I'm gonna put these side by side just so we can see the code example. Go here. Okay, so I'm gonna move me over here for a second. Yeah, there we go. Whoa. Okay. So we have a URL. I gotta download. Okay, so we create a new client request. Look at that. Look at that here. Look at that. And then what we want to do is with the client. Oh, set output directory. Set output file. Yeah, let's do that. Output directory. Sorry. Set out. Oh, I haven't. It doesn't like me because I haven't done. No. Set out directory. Build. Build path. Perfect. Dot R. Dot set output file. Let's just say file name is file path base to line. There's no error here. Okay, great. File name dot get URL. This is this right here. Boom, 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 boom. Download to IO writer. No, I don't really care. Use download callback. Parallel download. I don't care about parallel download. Progress? Oh, I still have to do the progress bar. Okay. I mean, that's not that bad. Let's go back here. Progress bar. Golang. I've used this so many times and I still don't remember how to use it ever. This is the one I've used. Default bytes. Yeah. Okay. Cool. We're just gonna add some libraries here. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna love it. We're going to create a new progress bar based on bytes. And downloading. So how do I get, it says callback. Let's see what this callback does. Download info, a response, and what does that response have? An HTTP response, but I don't get that until the content length. downloaded size, response, tense, content length. So if I start a bar, why won't this format? What? Oh, this format now? Okay, it's gonna hate me, but that's hating me for the right reasons now. We want to use this callback. Here, set download callback. Yeah, I might actually just move this here because that makes more sense to me. Get rid of this thing right here. So we have a progress bar that we started, but we may not have the full bytes yet. Which is okay if we start one and we say there's one, and then for each one in this, we can say bar dot change max 64 info response content. No, content length, but it's not. Okay, change. This is and 64. Okay, yeah, 64. 64. Do. Okay, so let's just make sure that this is set correctly, and then we can say bar set 64 info dot downloaded size. Perfect. There's gonna be a split second where it has to update itself to like the actual content length, but I won't know that until it starts the request. That's fine with me. I'm okay with that user experience. So if I run this right now, go run dot. So I've got some artifacts in there, and I have an entries DB, so it should do all the things. Go run main.go build -h. Oop, no, not enough arguments. Well, that is okay. Yeah, let's do OS perm mode perm. There we go. Let me get rid of this so we got some more space here. Okay, cool. So, config file is under config states at the moment. Let's do db build -entries allowed tags equals name. So they just should just start downloading a file. I should have it output what file. We should do some logs. Okay. Perfect. But the thing is there. Perfecto. And I'm only going to download one file at a time at the moment, much like the bash script, mainly because I don't want to hammer the server I'm trying to download from. Okay. So since that didn't download all the way, and it removed the entries file. Okay, great. I'm going to just delete this whole directory. Okay. I am going to add something in there for the sake of if OS file Golang file exists. I'll check if a file exists. I think I have to stat it, don't I? I have errors as error. Yeah. Not the biggest fan of that, but all right, whatever. I'm mainly not the biggest fan of it, just because uh, let's not call it file path. Tell you what, we only need it one place right now. Let's just do file path dot join. I'm not a big fan of the pattern of OS stat looking at an error that it doesn't exist. I just want to know that it exists. I don't care about anything else. I'd rather have some wrapper that just returns true or false. File name. These are all things that we're going to test eventually. As I said, I'm converting the if error not equal to nil. Let's make this bigger now. Okay, cool. Now I can move myself over. There we go. Do this thing. Download it. Download it. Cool. If it does not exist, download it. We assume all or nothing here. We're going to add a slog info, processing, URL, file name, OS, slog info, downloading, URL, to location, OS. Extract this out because I want to make sure we have logging. The progress bar actually to here, just so it's contained in one area. When this is done, we can do bar dot finish. Yeah. And finish will fill the bar to full. Exit will exit the bar to keep the current state. Can we just isn't there clear? Yeah, right, clear. We'll just stick with it. Run the convert. So this should just be info converting download file, download file. So let's just do convert run. Ooh, I'm out of the for loop here. I am not. Okay, cool. Command convert struct fill in the fill and convert. So we have the downloaded file name. We have the BDB. We have a prefix. Okay. This is the thing I ultimately want to test. And let's finish the. What? What? It doesn't like. All right, well, just put a placeholder there, and then we can do allowed. tags. Okay, so we finally got there. So for right now, I'm just going to put file name. And then error command.run if error not equal to return could not convert this because of this. So file name here. Okay, so now I finally just see everything together. Let's write our tests to cover this. It's gonna be fun. I have a couple of tests here. One is just an overarching test that is run this CLI, just make sure that it compiles and works. And then I do have individual tests for the services. I've put all this into one command. I haven't really built a service for this. To be honest, the service abstraction is really nice for if I want to reuse stuff and make it more testable. Since this is just a one-off meant from a bash script, I'm just going to call it directly from here. The run all the commands in one file as if you were an actual user. So you can see I have convert, query, server, and hit different server endpoints. It's kind of just like end-to-end do all things test. All right, so let's try by building all the things. This is for me, CLI. As you can see here too, I built like a little DSL of how I want to call the things. Yeah. End of story. So we're gonna call build. We're gonna pass the command line arguments that we want, which are gonna. I'm just looking down here just to see what they are, which is config. What config file to use here? I've been using a lot of. For my tests, I always try to use things that are not live, things that can be used locally, just in case anything ever goes down. So I'm going to have to create something similar here. Let me think. I just give it a URL. It doesn't. So I can create a fake HP server. I can then download the file for that fake HP server, which would just be the fake OSM file that I already have as part of my testing strategy. You'll see that here, fixtures sample PBF. I can just make it so that there's an HP server that allows you to download that. I think there's a library that's literally in Go that's just like, hey, run this HP server so you can download files. Cool. I can do that. Cool. Yeah. I'm actually going to take a little break at the moment. We've been going for about 40 minutes now, I think. So it's time to take a little break. I will see you soon. All right, after a short little break, we're back with where we left off was we're trying to test the code of the bash script that I'm converting into a Go code. And while trying to set up the tests, I'm figuring out that there are some artifacts that I need to create to do my, excuse me, uh, integration end-to-end test that I normally do. So I'm just gonna write this out and as a test, and hopefully have something kind of drive it out uh, as I do it. Sorry, let's write the test. Let's see where it fails and have that help us drive out the artifacts that are missing. We already got a DB file name here. And I'm just going to say use all tags. Let's see it run. Well, actually, these should both work. Oops. Okay, so this should fail for the wrong reasons at the moment. But it should say, okay, config exists, but it is a directory. Cool, great. So we have something that's failing. So let's generate a config file in our, close some directories here, fixtures. I'm just gonna call it config txt. I'm gonna say local host. Let's give it a 8848. That name of that file is gonna be sample.gbf because we're gonna have it download this file right there. So, I think Go has a, built-in Golang HTTP file server. Simple static one, I think, yeah, file server. Yeah, see, I know stuff. And we're just gonna start it as a server. I'm gonna put this next to each other here. I'm gonna move me over here. Try and clear some stuff here. Okay, so let's start an HP server. Let's start it, in fact, at the beginning of this, which is just going to be HTTP handle, HTTP file server, HTTP dir, and then the directory that it needs. Now we're gonna, okay, and then we're gonna just give it file path fixtures. Does that have to be full? And then defer. Actually, we can do this. Defer func do start it HP listen and serve. I said port number 8848. That happens to be running for any other reason. That's a different problem. Nil. Oh, I don't need TLS here. That's probably what that is. Let's just do the sensor. What is the second argument? Handler. And we're just doing default handler. That's perfect. Boo, boo, boo. By the time we get here, so we can do fixtures config.txt. All right, so this should fail for other reasons now, or just work perfectly. Starting the HP server. Defer. Seems to have gotten stuck. which is what I was not expecting. Defer. Ugh. Wrong, 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 wrong keyword. Even though you've been doing this professionally for 8 years, you can still do the wrong things, right? Okay, cool. And well, that is something else that is failing. Mm, That is because let me do this. I am doing this in the wrong order. These commands depend on each other in the right order. Let's just do this. This order. And it might just work. Oh, it's appending. Actually, this is perfect. It's failing for the right reasons. I have to update some stuff, but now I can actually update the failure that I'm experiencing. So what I mean is, I call this sample PBF. I told you I was having problems with like North Dakota with the type of name and everything. So let's actually change this to be sample some long name. So if I rerun this, cannot convert sample PBF to a file. Oh, that's interesting. The download doesn't fail. That's probably because I'm not looking at sorry, I know that's a response. I'm not actually looking at the return struct and error for when I do an HTTP request. This is great. I have stuff driving this stuff out right now. Not full tests. I don't really care at the moment, but just enough that is driving the errors as I write these tests. Could not download this URL because of this thing. So what is it? URL, this error, if response status code equals. Is there just a not found? No, okay. Status code equals HP status not found. Then return could not find URL to download. There's no error. It's just this this thing. Okay, so we should get a better error here. Could not find URL to download. Perfect. Exactly what I want. So let's go back to our config file, which is the issue. And we need to actually say sample some long file. Name, name, name. does that? Just borrow this because this is taking too long. OSM stat cannot find fixtures samples PBF. Where did that fail from? That is not what I was expecting. Oh, tell you what. We'll just copy it. So I'll just have sample here too. And that way we can go here, do here, and we should see both of them. That's cool. We're gonna run our tests like that because the Ginkgo CLI seems to be taking a while. Cannot find URL. Sample some long name PBF. Sample. Oops. Oh. No. Pretty sure I said rename. There we go. All right. We got it. Okay, so now I see sample PBF, which is not what I expected to see there, and sample some long name PBF, but it doesn't have decode. Because it's not the bash script and it's not failing. So we just want to make sure we have the right assertions, which is perfect. So I'm just going to copy and paste this. All right, I'm going to copy and paste. Wait. This output. Oof. There we go. Into the right test. Here. Make sure the right output. Okay. And then this is going to be sample. It's going to be sample. Then this is going to be some long funny. We actually want this to be something like that. Okay, perfect. So let's go to our code here. And this is all because of the things that I'm passing in here. I pass in the file name, but I'm not passing in the file name that it could be downloaded from. So that's the example, but if I go to bin, I gotta config here too. Pretty sure I'm supposed to get rid of that. Don't use that anymore. Perfect. So states. So these are the list of states that I download a file from. And it has the name of something. It says latest. Well, I'm always going to assume I'm downloading from GeoFabric for the most part. So let's do this. We'll copy Then we'll just make one here for latest. We'll go back to our test and our fixture. Do we want them to override each other here? Then we'll just go down to 1. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. So when we're passing in the file name here, the prefix, this is where it all comes down to it. The prefix, our prefix needs to remove the latest and extension. Okay, so prefix equals strings dot replace. So we want remove the extension. Golang remove file extension. There's usually things built into okay, that's fine. Strings. Trim suffix. File name is what we have. File path dot extension. File name. And then we also want to remove prefix equals strings dot remove replace replace. Let's just replace all. I don't really care. Prefix old is latest with nothing. Then we use this here. I think that's going to get us part of the way. So as you can see, it still has those separating it. It's got the right slug that I expected. So that's actually, this is something built into convert right here. The converter that I just didn't get right the first umpteen times. Okay. I think there's a way to replace with character, like Golang string replace. You can. I don't want to use a regex. I just want to kind of give it a. Oh no! Don't give me this. Strings. Replace all. Repeat. Maybe there isn't. I think what I'm looking for is the contains any. I kind of want to like replace any, which is like if it hits this. And kind of what I kind of want to say is title case. That's what I'm looking for. Golang title case. How to convert into title case. Strings title is deprecated. What to use now? Better title cases. Just give me a library. This is the nice thing about Ruby every once in a while. It can just do stuff. So let's look at title case here. Does it have title? A regex? I guess it's regex. Basically anything that's not a character. Alphanumeric character. Alphanumeric character with space? Like, yeah, I guess it's just regex. Okay. There. Cool. Cool. I'm fine with it. All right. Let's make sure everything runs. Okay, our linter is not liking us, which is fair. Uh, expect error not to have occurred. Go recover. There we go. Boom. Uh, all right. So I think I have something that's technically working. But the only really way to tell is if I run it. Bar is not checked. Oh, there's an error here. No, I don't. For the progress bar, I don't really care about the error. For this, I don't really care about the error. For this, do not define dynamic errors. Wait, use an HP server function that has no support for setting timeouts. Yeah, just test. That's fine. How about we just do no lint here. Do not define dynamic errors. I'm just going to do no lint here. I don't really care. Can be replaced with string concatenation. That's fair. I can do this. It is a performance optimization, but I'll do it just because it wants me to. Assignments should only be cuddled. Yeah, right. Yeah, just the style preference. All right. Nope, I didn't like that. Save. Does this thing where it's. I don't know if this is a Go formatter thing or a Golang thing, but it deletes that line. If I do this, I just do all. Does it get? How about if I just do go sec? It literally gets rid of the comment. I sometimes think it deletes the comment because it has something to do with like how fast I run the test to how fast the file is being saved from. No, it keeps getting rid of it. Tell you what, just for the sake of moving this along, I'll come back to it. I've got a list of clean stuff up later. So now I should just be able to run the go command. I should do all the things. Let's make sure I didn't miss anything from the bash script. Oh, that's running. Ooh, I'm killing my machine here. It is running slow. All right. Oof. Let me close some things down here. Why is this killing my computer here? OBS is killing my computer. That would explain a lot. All right, well, probably need to close down some things. Okay, so read through each file, delete some entries, create a directory, run the command, and then these things, should I run externally still? Yeah, I think so. Because these are application specific stuff, not to anyone who wants to use this to build something. So all this should become something like we call this. I just copy from here to config. It's this person here. DB path. Move this up here just for the sake of readability. You don't need prefix. But the allowed tags that we want are amenity, shop, some tag info. This thing. I had a list and I kind of deleted it. Shop amenity. This is not pertaining to anything. Oh yeah. Leisure and it was on the next page. Tourism? Leisure, L-E-I-S-C-H-R. Tourism? Tourism. Those are the ones I wanted by default. I just wrote that. Okay, so here, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. And we still want to run this. Cool. So, bin build config. Oh, bin config states. Oh, prefix Alabama OSM. That did not. I got it. This is why we ran this. I got it. I got it. I'm going to rename this to the full osm.pbf. We're not removing the full. It's this thing. Builder. When we remove the extension, it's just doing the first. So guess what? I'm just gonna do OSM PBF. In fact, this should work. Okay, cool. And then, tell you what, I'm gonna go to my states here. Let's do Alabama, and we're just gonna create a new file here for teststates.txt. Let's do Alabama, and then let's do one of the ones with multiple names. Oops. And we're just going to use that one for a second. Build test states. Hey, look, prefix Alabama. As you notice, it says importing, not downloading, because we already downloaded that file. Right? We don't download the file if it's already there. So that was faster. Cool. I haven't changed any of that behavior around, so I think that works for me. Let's get rid of this test state. Let's just do North Carolina for right now. Let's see that it gets. So downloads the right file. Let's see if it gets the right prefix. That is correct. North Carolina. Cool. Looking good. Convert bash script to Go for testability. Push that up. Actually, I'm gonna call it a day in terms of the live streaming. Thanks for following along. Hopefully it was interesting or valuable, or you found something in terms of discovering feature or just pairing along. Like and subscribe. I'm going to run this through all the states now. Thanks for your help.